Hey guys, crew of Blonde Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Calvin.
Calvin, we are starting season 4 of Game of Thrones. Yes, we have done 30 of these episodes. And we've done it in 15 weeks, I think. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so if you guys have never seen our reactions to Game of Thrones before, I am Eric. I am the king. This is Calvin.
I am the hand of the king.
Now, I have seen and read all of Game of Thrones. Calvin has
not.
Okay.
I've only seen seasons 1 through 3.
Yes.
I've not read the books.
Nope. We had a little bit of a rough patch at the end of last season.
As is expected.
Yep. But we are nice and fresh. Calvin does not have the luxury of being able to wait an entire year until Game of Thrones came back. But he did have a week. And he has the luxury of being able to watch it immediately, just like we are when we watch him. So, last season on Game of Thrones, we all pretty much know what happened. You can watch last reaction. I kind of want to just get into this.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let's just go ahead. Season 4, Episode 1. It's a big sword. Do you recognize it?
Mm-hmm. Valyrian steel. He knows.
And we're back. That's all the wrap up you need, really, right there, huh?
You'll return to Casterly Rock and rule in my stead.
Doesn't want that.
What do you want? Supper would be nice.
It's interesting. He talks to Tyrion. Tyrion does what he says. Cersei, she does what he says. Jaime
needs all the help he can get.
Weep o'er his hole, and not a soul to hear.
I tell you a secret. You're not the golden lion. You're just a pink little man who's far too slow on the draw. Longsword is a bad option in close quarters.
Prince Oberyn, forgive the intrusion. We heard that night. Trouble.
My sister Elia and Rhaegar Targaryen, the last dragon. She bore his children. They butchered those children. My nephew and niece carved them up and wrapped them in Lannister cloaks. And my sister, Gregor gained the mountain, raped Elia, and split her in half with his great sword.
I wasn't there.
Tell your father I'm here. Tell him the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts.
Player 4 has entered the game.
Yeah. They're much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I say those two that were coming in, they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
They're much bigger.
What's you got? A deer. Ah,
Man.
a lamb.
Drogon's bigger than them.
A lot bigger.
Where's Daria and Harris? Where's Grey Worm?
Oh yeah, Daria was recast this season.
Okay.
How long have they been at it?
Since midnight, Your Grace.
The last man holding his sword can find a new queen to fight for.
A hook would be more practical.
Elegant, I think.
You can use a hook to like grab shields and stuff.
Yeah. But a hand like that, you could also grab blades. Yeah. And I could still grab a shield.
Not now.
I want. Not now. When? I've been back for weeks.
It's been a long time.
Something's changed.
Everything's changed. You come back after all this time with no apologies in one hand and expect everything to be the same.
What do you want me to apologize for?
For leaving me.
You think I wanted to be taken prisoner?
Don't know what you wanted. You weren't here. You left me. Alone.
Every day I was in
This bitch.
I murdered
Right?
people so I could be here with you.
You took too long.
I mean, she was fucking her cousin
Saying you took too
Yeah.
very soon after he left.
Thens. I fucking hate Thens.
With her wilding tribe.
Big dudes though.
A little more hardcore.
Yeah.
How did you find us?
Came from the
Another
south.
Another ward.
Why does the meat down here taste so much better than it does on our side of the wall?
Help yourself.
Maybe everything's just better fed down here. Fat and lazy. Easier for us.
It's not going to be the kind of meat that they're expecting to see.
I know we've had our differences, Tormund. But just one time, before you die, you really ought to try Crow.
As you say, a little more hardcore.
A little more.
You put your sword through a brother of the Night's Watch.
Recognize the guy on the left?
Mm-hmm.
Jeno Slint.
He wanted me to kill him.
He even talks like a wildling now.
No, I talk like a wildling. I ate with the wildlings. I climbed the wall with the wildlings.
Slept with the wildlings.
I lay with a wildling girl. There's giants fighting for it.
Giants.
Have you ever been beyond the wall, sir?
I commanded the city watch of King's Landing, boy.
And now you're here. You must not have been very good at your job.
How dare you?
You told the truth.
You always know when a man is telling a lie. How did you acquire this magical power?
I grew up in King's Landing.
I like this Dario better. Just the beard.
Yeah. And not such.
Douchebag face.
Yeah.
Are you sure we're not related? Ever since I returned, every Lannister I've seen has been a miserable pain in my ass. Maybe you're a Lannister too. Got the hair for it, not the looks.
Better watch his words.
Kick his ass. Again.
Yeah.
When am I going to get a horse of my own?
Little lady wants a pony.
Oliver stole my sword and put it right through his neck.
I'm like,
He still got it.
What one?
My sword. Needle.
So she named your sword.
Lots of people name their swords.
Lots of cunts.
oh, that line.
These are the king's colours. No one's standing in his way now.
Fuck the king. Bring me one of those chickens.
You got money to pay for it?
You paid for it.
No.
You're a talker. Listening to talkers makes me thirsty. And hungry. Think I'll take 2 chickens.
You don't seem to understand the situation.
I understand that if any more words come pouring out your cunt mouth, I'm gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this room.
You're gonna die for some chickens.
Someone is.
Oh, I love the Hound. Oh, that growl.
Yeah. He's so fucking strong.
Take your sword.
Something wrong with your leg, boy?
What do you mean?
Can you walk? I've got to carry you.
Carry me?
Find a little blade. Maybe I'll pick my teeth with it.
Hear the music? And then hear this music?
Yeah. Yeah, she got a horse.
The kingdom is not doing well. But it's pretty rare when we hear Stark music like that.
Yeah.
Good opener.
Yeah. It's a real feel-good, ass-kickery episode to finish off.
It still gets me, because when I first watched it, I never really knew why. It got like just her getting that sword back made me really emotional. This episode is called Two Swords, right? And you can say, well, two swords is the two swords that were taken from ice, right? I think the two swords are ice and needle. One Stark sword is taken away.
And one Stark sword is given back.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I really like that, yeah. I'll cut myself like the Mad King. But, yeah, one Stark sword is reclaimed. Which, in terms of story, the Starks are being destroyed and broken down. And Arya, I mean, she's certainly not whole or good necessarily, but she is being tempered so much into like a fine point needle that, I love it, Calvin.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Jon, who's also a Stark, who's also still around, is also, he's gone through his trials and tribulations, and he seems to be very valued in terms of the Night's Watch, even though that technically he did mess up the rules. He did it for the Watch,
Yeah.
And I think they see that.
And at that point, he didn't have much choice.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to either kill Corrin or show his true colors
I just like that he came back and he's like, look, yes, that stuff happened, but here's the shit's going down, and you got to do something about it.
Yeah.
And all these, there's no Mormont there to solidify everybody. Aemon and Alistair Thorne, and now we've seen, again, Janos Slynt, that weasel. And Jon, he shut him down in a second,
Yeah.
I love when Janos Slynt's like, giants, and looks around for support, and all of them are like, it's like, wait, what? Good episode. Definitely, like, it's like we've been saying, like, that moment of her reclaiming that sword, if this was in a sea of moments of, like, they were all kind of feel-goodery, it wouldn't hit you as hard.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I don't know why. That episode especially, the end of this one, when it goes from just pure violence in terms of what the Hound's doing. I love the way he talks, though.
Yeah.
Like, what's he say? He's like, I'm gonna eat every chicken here.
You lived your life for the king.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna die for some chickens.
Yeah. Someone is.
I love that.
And even before they even get into the tavern, there's that, like, he stole my sword and needle. He's like, you named your sword? It's like, lots of people name their swords. Lots of cunts. That's my favorite line. Yeah. Probably of any Game of Thrones episode. Lots of cunts. I love it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Arya, like, talking to him and, like, trying to figure him out.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, figure out why he does one thing and he thinks it's okay, and then another is it's totally no. Yeah. Just no. Man's gotta have a code. I wrote that down. Gotta have a code.
Gotta have a code.
Gotta have a code.
I love the way she turned around exactly what Polliver did to her and Lamy from season 2. Like, nice little blade. I think I'll pick my teeth with it. That's what he said.
Yeah.
She said the same thing back to him. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And if we remember, Polliver is just one of the people that he killed Lamy. He captured them, took them to Harrenhal. But he was on her list. So, once again...
You could see when she first saw him, she's like, I know him.
Yeah.
And she smiled a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she knew
she was able to
found him.
She was able to cross from the person off her list.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it too because the way she brings him to his knees is a very like water dancing Syrio Forel move.
Yeah.
And then it was Jack and Hagar.
Yeah.
You know? And then it was...
I love how slow that push was. She was enjoying every centimeter.
Yeah. And then the Hound eating chicken, you know, on his horse, and then her having her horse was kind of a Hound moment. So those three mentors of hers all kind of coalesced into that one 10-second scene. You know what I'm saying? Which I really enjoyed. Yeah, it's hard not to talk about that ending. Calvin, we met the Thins this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
the
guys.
Slightly more intense wildlings.
Slightly, yes.
Just
They're all very tall, very bald, very scarred, and very hungry for flesh. I think we can...
especially people flesh.
Yeah, I think we can understand why it's a big deal that the King Beyond the Wall was able to unite all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we talked about last season, I don't think there's just one excursion over the wall, you know, to wait for that fire signal, you know?
Yeah.
So there's definitely a small army on the other side of the wall now too.
Yeah.
So 100,000 on the north and who knows how many on the south. And there's only
100,000.
Yeah.
And they still want south of the wall.
Yes.
It's like, man, they're screwing everybody up in here.
Yeah.
We want out.
Exactly. Yep. So good. We already kind of mentioned it. Dario is a new actor this season. Much preferred, in my opinion.
He reminded me too much of Malibu.
Malibu?
Remember Malibu? He's like a American...
Gladiators?
American Gladiator.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know you're saying.
You know, you always get to the end and you go, Malibu! And his hair was like down to here and curly. Yeah, he was...
I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no,
like Malibu that I don't like.
Yeah, I like this guy more.
He's a lot more like...
he's a lot more grounded, in my opinion.
Yeah, he reminds me of Keely. And a little bit of... Just do it!
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
So Keely and Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's what I'm drawing from that character right now.
Okay. I would never have made this comparison, but they're almost perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. We also met this episode Oberyn Martell, a Prince of Dorne. Yeah. Okay. He's the second son. So Dorne doesn't have kings; they have princes.
Gotcha.
Because they're not, Aegon Targaryen, said there will be no kings but me. But Dorne, they resisted for a while, but they still call themselves princes. So he would be the first prince, like the ruler of Dorne's younger brother.
Gotcha.
Right? We met his paramour. We can tell that Dorne is a lot more of a free society.
Yes.
There's definitely some hatred in terms of the Lannisters. Did you catch who he was talking about when he was talking about his sister? His sister was married to the last dragon, which would be Daenerys' eldest brother. Remember? Yeah. That guy took Eddard's sister. Oberyn said, he left my sister for another woman.
Okay.
But the story we've heard is that Dany's brother took Lyanna Stark, right? And that's what caused Robert's rebellion.
Right.
But as that happened, Tywin Lannister betrays the Mad King, and he goes and he has all the Targaryen children killed, and the Mountain slaughtered those kids. And the Dorne is not happy with that, obviously. Oberyn Martell, especially. So we'll learn more about him.
Isn't the words of Dorne unbowed, unbent, unbroken?
They never bowed to the dragons.
Okay.
They were only ever brought into the fold through marriage. But they were so resilient. They knew the deserts and the waterways and everything so much that it didn't matter how hard you tried to make them bow. They never could.
They seem like very nomadic.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Saudi Arabian.
A little bit. They're like
feel.
They're like Saudi Arabia and they're like Spain, kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They North African kind of cultures.
They have strongholds. They have vast, beautiful cities and stuff like that. But they're also very, very resilient. They are what the Starks are to the north. They are to the south.
Yeah. Are they the southernmost?
Yes.
Okay. We have maps.
We do have maps. Yeah, let's look at it. So we just need Westeros. Okay, so with the known world, Calvin, as we see our maps here, Dorne is right here.
Yeah.
This being Westeros. So we have, like, you know, Castle Black, the Wall, the North.
Dreadfort.
Yep. The Dreadfort's around here.
Dreadfort.
Yep.
River Run.
River Run and the Riverlands.
Okay.
Harrenhal. And then we have King's Landing.
Storm's
right
End.
Here. This is King's Landing.
This is Tarth. Oh, cool.
Yep.
Tarth.
And then as you go down further, you eventually get to Dorne, which is the smallest part, right? You got the Iron Islands and, you know, different places
Castle
like that.
Pike.
But as we can see here, there is Dorne used to have what was like a land bridge, kind of like how in our own history we talk about how, like, you know, in Asia they might have crossed over the Bering Strait to get to North America. It's kind of the same thing. Men originated in Essos and made their way over.
Okay.
With this land bridge, and then, you know, and that would be the first men, and then there were the Andals that actually sailed once they had that. So anyway, so Dorne is actually where all the men came from, except for the Andals who actually just invaded.
Ah! What? Got shocked. Jeez. Again. Jeez.
Okay, so that is Oberyn Martell and his paramour, something Sand. She's a bastard. That's why her last name is Sand.
Ah.
Yep. Anyway, so we'll learn more about them this season as well. Cause, as I said, a new player has entered the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You have anything else?
No, I didn't really get anything else.
Yeah. Okay. I love that last scene. I could watch that over and over again. I did. When I first saw that scene, I thought it was so well done that I watched it like 10 times in a row. All right. So we have a lot more awesome scenes to get to in this season of Game of Thrones. So you guys got to make sure you're coming back, checking everything out. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button and the like button down there. You can go to the description box where you can see all the links to our social media. You can go to blindwave.net for all that and more. And you can come back next reaction. I'm Eric.
I'm Calvin.
Calvin Button.